Hey there booktube, welcome back to my channel. I just came off doing 1, 2, 3 readathons in March and they were fantastic. March was my best reading month I think ever, and so I am all about readathons these days. In April, my readathon of choice is going to be the Tome Topple Readathon. It's 2 weeks of reading really long books. The word tome is a word that I just learned since I came to booktube, so if you didn't know tome, that's okay, don't feel bad. For this readathon, tomes are being defined as books that are over 500 pages. So the objective for Tome Topple Readathon is to read only books, or to read books, maybe not only, because I don't think I'm only going to read these long books, but to read books that are 500 pages or more. For the readathon, I have several books that qualify. Yep. Here they are. So the Tome Topple Readathon is just like any other reading challenge. It has categories that the hosts encourage all the participants to meet. First one is to read more than one tome. So not just to read one 500-page book for the 2 weeks, but to be intentional about reading more than one, 2 or 3, depending on your reading speed. How many tomes can you fit into 2 weeks of reading? The second one is to read a graphic novel. I am not about that. I don't think there are many graphic novels that are over 500 pages. For this challenge, you're allowed to get bind-ups of graphic novels. So I suppose if there was a series of graphic novels where the entire series was put together and it was over 500 pages, then that would qualify. I'm not a big fan of the graphic novel medium because I don't get a lot of the musings and a lot of the narrative that I so enjoy in literary fiction, so I'm not going for that challenge. The next one is to read a tome that is part of a series. The books that I have selected are tomes that I already own. These are books that are on my TBR, so I'm not really planning to go out and look for another tome that is part of a series in order to participate. And I don't really enjoy series as much as I used to. I mean, when I was growing up, I loved series books. I read Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys, Bobbsey Twins, which are all parts of series. I love the Sweet Valley books, all the twins, the high school, the college years. I love the series of those books, but now I'm more of a fan of standalone books. So I'm not going for that challenge either. Another challenge is to buddy read a tome. Buddy read means that I find someone who is willing to read the same book as me, or even better, if they have the same book as me on their TBR already, and we can read the book together. I haven't yet identified anyone who is interested in reading these books. In fact, a couple of the books that I have identified are books that people that I probably would have asked to buddy read them with me have already read them, and read them quite recently too. So we'll see how that goes. So the reason that I'm creating and posting my TBR now is because I want to let you know the books that I'm reading. So just in case you're planning to do the Tome Topple Readathon and you want to buddy read a book with me, so we can complete this challenge together. The last challenge is one that I have no problem meeting, is read an adult novel. All the books that I have chosen are adult novels. Let's check out the books that I selected to meet the Tome Topple Readathon challenges. First is The Luminaries by Elizabeth Catton. I just bought this book last week, which is why the sticker is still on there, so don't mind that. But this book won the Man Booker Prize in 2013. I've told you about my Man Booker Prize reading challenge where I'm reading all the shortlisted books for this particular year. And this is the book that won. So I wanted to just buy it. I didn't want to get it from the library. So I went and bought this book. And a couple of days after I bought it, I was talking to a booktuber that I just met from New Zealand. We were having our first little chat. I asked her about famous authors from New Zealand, and she said Elizabeth Catton is a New Zealander. And I was like, I didn't know that. So I'd already bought the book, but if I hadn't, that would have been confirmation that I should have bought it, right? No one has ever talked to me about this book. I'm only picking this up because of the Man Booker Prize reading challenge, so that was great. But this book is 834 pages, so yeah, Tome Topple Readathon, choice number 1. Another book that has been on my TBR for a while now is The Book Thief. I got this book from the library maybe a year and a half ago, and I started reading it, and I just couldn't get into the story, so I DNF'd, I guess. Not officially. I just said I'm not going to be able to read it right now. I'll read it sometime. And so in order to push myself, I went and bought my own copy. and it's been on my shelf now for several months, and I still haven't read it. So I'm gonna tackle it during the Tome Topple Readathon. If you have not yet read The Book Thief and you'd like to buddy read it with me, please let me know. This one is 550 pages, so yeah, that qualifies. I also have The Goldfinch, which was a Pulitzer Prize winner. You know about one of my other reading challenges, which is to read all the Pulitzer Prize winning novels. The Goldfinch is 771 pages. This is going to be a challenge to read this, but only during readathons do I seem to have the motivation to tackle a book this size. So if you haven't read The Goldfinch, Donna Tartt, and you'd like to use this Tome Topple Readathon to tackle it, please go ahead, let me know so we can buddy read it. Again, making my plea. And then the last book that I have is The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. I bought this a few weeks ago. You might remember it from one of my hauls, and it is 536 pages, so this qualifies. But here's the thing. I bought this one, and I also bought this one. I didn't realize when I was buying this one that I'd already bought it. I think I saw it in the thrift store and I said I should buy that book, and I bought it, but forgot that I'd bought it. So I went back to the thrift store and had the same idea and bought this one. So I have a problem. Anyway, I'm looking to give one of these away. So if you are doing the Tome Topple Readathon and you don't have a book that qualifies and you would like to buddy read this with me, then please go ahead, leave me your contact information and where I can send this book, and I'll choose someone to send it to so that we can participate. We have a week to get this thing going, okay? So here we go. Time Traveler's Wife, The Goldfinch, The Book Thief, or The Luminaries. All of these books start with the. It's very interesting. So this is my potential TBR for the Tome Topple Readathon. No graphic novels, no series, but 4 tomes that would probably take me realistically a year or so to read, because I'm not usually a fan of these huge books. But I think that together we can do this. So the Tome Topple Readathon starts on April 7th and goes until midnight on April 20th. So if you are interested in doing it, I'll leave a link to the creators or one of the hosts. Go ahead, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you're thinking about doing it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll talk later. Until then, happy reading.